Time to start Act 2, everybody. Let's see how it goes. Gonna just boost the sound a tiny bit. Let me know how the levels are. Okay, that should be good. Gonna do this too. Yeah, that should be good too. And let's get into it. Lula Chamberlain opens a letter. Attention Lula Chamberlain, regarding your application. Thank you for your application to the Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture's annual fellowship. We received a record number of applications this year, over 100 in total, and regrettably, we can award only one fellowship position per year. As you know, our review process includes a multi-phase blind committee analysis of portfolio submissions, as well as a careful review by a panel of subject matter experts on each applicant's notability and relevance in the field. We must be extremely selective in our process so as to maintain the standards we have established over our 35 years in operation. Our panel did not select your application. We encourage you to consider reapplying next year. Many young artists and architects reapply for a few successive years before being accepted. Sincerely, Dr. Carl Stone Norden, Architect, Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture. Below the printed text is a hastily handwritten note. Sorry for the condescending form letter. Love your work. Unfortunately, I just do the mail here. Your obedient servant, Robert. It's bulletin board material for Lula. She sorts through the documents. The Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Site, hospital. Proposed use, auto dealership. Site, distillery. Proposed use, graveyard. Site, basketball court. Proposed use, kennel. Distillery still active, but scaling down operation to less than half of site. Distillery built on top of graveyard originally. Hybrid distillery graveyard could share resources. Chapel, once repurposed into bottling facility, could be repurposed into chapel. Oh my gosh, that's so much. Endorsed. Site, hospital. Proposed use, auto dealership. Oh, this is the same ones. Okay. Um, yeah, let's go with the hospital. Hospital closed to bad sanitation, auto dealer sanitation fine. Small operating rooms could be repurposed into offices. Large cubicle style administrative offices could be repurposed into showrooms. Lula stamps the proposal opposed. Oh, Carrington. Carrington's here, everybody. Always got time for Carrington. You do important work here now. Maybe it's not sublime art, but it's, do you know the famous dramatist who visited Mexico and said, "Here there is no art. Things are made for use." You've been to Mexico. You've seen the murals. You know all about that. So, my own thoughts are wandering, clearly. I've got a lot on my mind, clearly. Well, I'll come straight to it then. The clerk upstairs tells me you've been assigned to my proposal. I've heard nothing in weeks, and I assumed it had been swallowed by and I assumed it had been swallowed up by some dragon of administration. But Lula, my situation is desperate. I have hours, hours. I must find a suitable venue for my play in time for its sunrise debut, or the last decade of my life will have been a vision within a dream, a fragment. I've received your proposal, and I'm afraid it's impossible. I haven't had a chance to review it, to be honest. Of course, you're quite busy. I understand completely. I'm sorry to have bothered you, Lula. I'll go now. Oh, Lula, I thought you might like to know. I saw Joseph this evening just after sunset. We sat for a bit, drank some cold coffee, and talked about university days. Better days. Maybe for him. Act 2, Scene 1. The Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. What's a blue got for me? Get a good rest in the truck? I know you love a long drive. I do too, usually. Sorry, I was just checking the sound. Maybe someone here can point us in the right direction. Yeah, looks like they're still open. Must be the night shift. What do you think they do there? Here. Looks like an office building. What do you think? When I got my electrician's license, I had to go to this government building in Frankfurt. Kind of low to the ground, a bit older. Didn't really look like this place, I guess. But they all have that same feel. Bureaucracy in the air. Too much concrete. This is weird, but do you think we're inside or outside right now? Outside. Yeah. Outside any man-made structure, I guess. It just feels like it's still inside, since we can't see the sky. Well, maybe someone around here has a better sense of direction. Seems that way. Conway's just loping along. I guess I gotta go down. I can't go down, so where do I go? Hmm. Oh, you can walk by it. Okay. Oh, weird. I guess we are both inside and outside right now. Oh, cool. Somebody said come talk. Well, here you are. Better late than never, I guess. Just unload the whiskey over there by the elevator. I'll figure something out. Want to settle a bet? I'm actually pretty busy, but sure, what's up? He says we're outside, but I think we're inside. Wow, okay. Is that like a philosophy thing, or are you just lost? Guess it is a bit philosophical. Huh, okay. I wouldn't say you're dressed like a philosopher. I wouldn't say so either. Just a hobby then. I get it. I take care of the heating and cooling here and watch the front desk. But at home I do watercolors. We're supposed to have a little celebration here at the office, but the whiskey never showed up. I saw your truck and thought, but you don't really look like one of the boys from the distillery anyway. What are you celebrating? Oh, the less I understand the better. When I'm here, I keep the fans turning and the furnace hot, and listen for the bell. When I get home, I'm a different person. I don't have to think about it. I just paint. Well, it's clear you're new to this territory. I expect you just mean to be passing through. We're looking for Dogwood Drive. Do you know where that is? Dogwood, nope. You're gonna need to talk to someone upstairs about that. One of the map clerks? But first we've got to get you in the system, so you need an appointment with one of the ingestion clerks. Now, let's see. Rick is booked proofreading drafts all afternoon, and Wanda's out on a site. Let me go make some calls and see if we have anyone free. There's some books over there in the waiting area, or just take a look around. Have you seen our grotesques? Oh, grotesques are like gargoyles on a building, I think. Television plays a cartoon about a bird. Cartoon collects pieces for its nest. A scarf, a plastic shopping bag. A bit of young girl's hair. The nest is warm but precariously fragile. Okay. This is a different TV. Nature documentary. A hermit crab scuttles across a beach. Its shell is an awkward shape. It must have once belonged to a different crab. Okay, let's see what else I can get into. Marianne, you got anything else? Oh, good, I thought you'd left. People can be so impatient, you never know. Well, I have you meeting with Lula Chamberlain. She's a senior clerk and doesn't usually handle the ingestion process, but she's the only one with room on her plate this evening. My schedule says she's on the 5th floor, reviewing some diagrams. The elevator is just back to the left there, 5th floor. Books. What books? Service manual for a sewage pump, some architectural plans for a bungalow, and a slim collection of Japanese death haiku. An envelope is protruding from the bottom of the stack. Picks up the envelope. The envelope reads, Bureau of Secret Tourism. It contains several small, handwritten brochures with ritualistic directions to bizarre locations. Okay. She's on the 5th floor, right? Conway scans a column of elevator buttons. 5th floor. I got it. Just gonna go to the 5th floor. This is good music. Greg is hard at work examining some diagrams. diagrams, measuring apples with a plastic protractor, and occasionally scribbling numbers in a small leather notebook. Can I help you? Don't answer that. Are you Lula Chamberlain? No. You just missed her, actually. She was up here about an hour ago. She's probably back at her real desk now on the first floor. She barely made a dent in these diagrams. Must have been distracted. Speaking of which, I'm gonna turn off your doleful music and see what you say. Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. Conway. Fixing everything. Ooh, the way these two songs overlay is and fade is really good. Her office is on the first floor. Alright, clerk's offices. I'm not gonna go poking around a government building. Why are there bears? What? I kind of want to go to the bear floor, though, is the thing. Maybe we'll see what Lula has to say, and then maybe go to the bear floor. We're looking for Lula Chamberlain. Oh no, she's much too busy. Let's get some of our junior clerks to sort your paperwork first, so we don't waste any of Miss Chamberlain's time. It's a pretty straightforward process. First, you need to get a case number assigned. Talk to Clerk Metzstein about that. She's just over there at the end of the room. Happy to help. That was so helpful. Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. I just need your ingestion card and a list of your last 5 permanent addresses. Let's just skip it. Which one of you is Lula Chamberlain? Oh, sure, that's her in the cardigan. Having fun in the paperclip labyrinth? Well, you made it eventually. You look exhausted. I'd offer you my seat, but my ankles are turning on me. Arthritis? Dr. Truman says my joints are eroding one another. They've been collaborating for decades. It's only natural they want to kill each other now. Well, enough about my hateful wrists and ankles. This concrete bunker of an office is just a waypoint for you, I'm sure. Where is it you're trying to go? Hmm. Dogwood Drive. That's funny. Do you know I used to live on a Dogwood Drive? This was years ago. Grimy old house. Basement full of insects, attic full of birds. I had a few roommates. We all worked at the university. I had a dog. I drank whiskey and beer and made sculptures. But that dogwood was a surface road. With a name like that, it would have to be. What are you doing on the Zero? Gas station attendant told us we'd need to take the Zero to get there. Gas station attendant? Friendly blind man, about my age, hangs out with an old cat, likes to pretend he's a poet. Oh, no cat anymore? Sorry to hear it. Joseph and I used to work together, and we lived together. We were friends, but that was a long time ago. We haven't spoken in years. Do you know why he's pointed you this way? It's because he's still in love with me, of course, and now he's implicated you, quite inconsiderately, and in your condition, it's appalling. So, I'm very sorry for wasting your time, but I'm afraid you've been misled. Excuse me. Get over yourself. Well, I guess that's fair. All right, maybe I can help you. For Joseph. The Dogwood Drive I lived on is now called Pale Dogwood Drive. They've renamed all the streets, you see. Too many streets with the same names. It was never a problem before, but now we have these databases, and it's all too confusing for the computer. The computer has no sense of ambiguity, so it proclaims an error. Name collisions, they call them. So my dogwood drive is pale dogwood drive, and another might be large-leafed dogwood drive or Himalayan flowering dogwood drive, and so on. But one of them is still just dogwood drive, or so we might hope. It's really a matter of consulting records, of which we have an abundance here. Do you have a record? I expect we must. They'll be up in Archives and Records, fourth floor. It'll be filed under O for autonyms, probably, or G for generic, or maybe S for specific, depending on which part of the street name was changed. That's about how it goes with bureaucratic filing, so that tracks for me. Archives and Records, so fourth floor. I really want to just see what's going on with the bears, though, before we'll go to Archives and Records in a second, but there's bears and they're all bopping along to some music or something. Why are the bears here? It's... What is this? They're just hanging? And there's more bears out here? Can I... Alright, cool. Didn't get eaten by the bears. I don't think it's that kind of game, but you know, you never know. Let's go up the floor to Archives and Records. So, fourth floor. Fourth floor, Archives and Records. Come on, let me choose them. There we go. Just a chill. This is like my real job. So, cool. Damn, this place is a mess. Okay. Take a look through that logbook, I guess. Maybe there's some kind of system to all these boxes. I'll just start digging. Small logbook has a smart leather cover. A few nights are scribbled on the inside covers. Most pages are just lists of titles, names, and dates. Uh, Inside front cover. Please do not transfer any more records from the storage unit until we get a new file cabinet. We're up to F, and that will have to do for now. Instruct clerks to follow on activities beginning with the letters A, B, C, D, or E, or F, or activities most likely to involve research on subjects beginning with those letters. For example, cars is okay because it involves automotive, driving, brakes, etc., but air quality is not okay because it relates to health, safety, pollution, etc. Failing antique shops folder missing. Listed checked in on page 63 but not present. Check in. Failing antique shops, Monday 3 p.m. Signee, Ed Bohm. I think that's how you say the umlaut under over O's. It's Bohm, like a O, I think. I hope. Several documents relating to sporting competition venues were quickly checked out and back in over a period of few days. Basketball courts, baseball fields, alleys, and parking lots. Single set of documents relating to coal mining operations was checked out and back in by several different people within a few hours. Okay. Nothing? Me neither. Half of these boxes aren't even labeled, and the rest are all pulled from the first few letters of the alphabet. I couldn't find anything with an O or a G or an S. Maybe that clerk knows somewhere else we can look. I'm in a bureaucratic nightmare. Okay, her office is down on the first floor. Third, second, first. Time to talk to Lula again. Wait, I can't talk to Lula again? Oh no, there she is. Okay. Lula. Oh, nothing? That's unfortunate. Well, they must still be in transit. You see, we've only moved into this new venue somewhat recently, and it's all a bit in progress. This was a cathedral not so long ago. Can you believe it? And then the Bureau reclaimed it. The old congregation has been directed to one of our storage facilities for their activity. What? No, that's not cool. That's where you'll find any street name records, I expect. At the church. Marianne at reception can give you directions. Just come back here when you have the files, and we'll begin the necessary paperwork to have the information analyzed. Oh, and while you're out on the road, you might want to stop and see Dr. Truman about your leg. He's a specialist regarding ailments of joints and limbs, and I know he works at nights. His home is in a small neighborhood on the east edge of Bowling Green. Here's his card. Do stop and see him. That leg is a miserable sight. Alright, ouch. So, Bowling Green. Okay. I really like the polygonal, like, art accents, because they could be a bunch of different things, but they're evocative, all being, like, as abstract as they are, which is cool. Like, are they flower planters? Are they the grotesques she was talking about? Um, Vines. I mean, those are the things. Vines are grotesques, but it's still very cool. Maybe it's something else. Lula, be straight with me. What is this place? Just another office lady. Just another job. But you kicked out a congregation to set up your office? I wasn't here for that, but yeah, I get where you're coming from. Still, I wouldn't judge until I'd seen everything. They've got a new church now. The Bureau set it up for them out of some of their old storage space. I'm sure it's very nice. Go see it for yourself. Just get back on the zero and drive until you hit the crystal. Then turn around. It'll make sense once you get on the road. You can handle it. So the crystal and Bowling Green. They head back into the night. What the fuck? So that's the what? The Badlands. This is so far out. The TV. then turn around. The feather? This is so weird. The cactus? It's kind of wild that the game has you like, this is so visually arresting and like sonically good and mysterious that the way the game like backloads it, or not backloads, but like I played 2 hours of this game looking for the zero, and this is the zero, and it's like, okay, then turn around, go to the crystal, then turn around. It'll make sense once you get on the road. It doesn't. Act. What? Huh? So, huh? So that was progression because I advanced to the next scene, but I didn't see. Oh, there's Carrington. What's up, Carrington? Hello, my friends. I'm relieved to run across you again. Hello, Blue. No better place on the road than the road for a hound. I'm afraid I've been unsuccessful for a venue, in search for a venue for my play. Have you found anything in your travels? The old Elkhorn mine, there's a stuff storage. I think you should do it back at the gas station. By the interstate, it never occurred to me. It does sound compellingly desolate. The roar of the cars and trucks resonating and reverberating through nearby overpasses. Yes, the psychoacoustics of the space are of prime concern. Psychoacoustics, definitely. Psychoacoustics is a field of perceptual study. How do we perceive sound? What does it do to our souls? How does sound work? How do sounds work through us? The play must resonate through my actors in their performance, and then it must reverberate out from them, and again resonate through the audience. Theater is mostly acoustic, you see. Yes, I think Equus Oils would do wonderfully. I can already hear the desolate cry of the road. You've been immeasurably helpful. If you have time later this evening, I'd love to go over my production notes with you. Just meet me there in a few hours if you like. Many thanks. Cool. I helped Carrington find a place for his play. And there's a boat here now? Was this boat here a minute ago? Maybe it was. Maybe. I'm gonna go talk to Lula again. Because I think I may have missed the thing that I was meant to see. But who could say? Clerk's offices? Where's... Okay. That's Lula over here. Right? She's just like, I got nothing for you. Is this Lula? I don't know. I thought this was Lula, but I guess she's got nothing for me. I think I need to hit the road again. Check out the zero. But I'm not fully sure. Lobby. back in the truck, I guess. I'm not fully sure. What's my journal say? Notes. Storage facility. Just go back the way you came. Find the crystal and then turn around. Okay. Note. Mineral Springs. Wait. Okay. Drive clockwise to the feather, then come back to the talon. Okay. Bureau of Secret. Okay, this is all Bureau of Secret Tourism stuff. Okay, so storage facility. Go back the way you came, find the crystal, and then turn around. Drive clockwise until you reach the feather. Pause for a moment. Pause for a moment to consider the cave walls. Reverse direction and drive counterclockwise until you hit the birdhouse. Now, turn around again, and you're almost upon it. Okay, so drive clockwise till you reach the feather. Turn around. Pause, turn around, and then turn around again when you get to the birdhouse. Okay, so clockwise till I reach the feather. This is so cool. The crystal. Where's the feather? It should be up here. It's in the feather. Okay. Pause for a second to consider the cave walls. And then I click that button. Okay. That didn't really do anything. But maybe it did? I'm not sure. The bottle, that's not what I want. I want the birdhouse. Bureau. Jaws. Okay. Starting to backwards. The birdhouse should be next, I think. No, and the TV. The lightning bolt. The bottle. The crystal. Is the bureau the birdhouse? Maybe not. Okay, let me try a different one. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Drive counterclockwise toward the TV. Okay, these are all... Okay. Drive counterclockwise to the bottle. Turn around. Drive clockwise to the still. Turn around. You're nearly on top of it. I think I need to go to... just go back the way you came. Find the crystal. This is so weird and far out. And awesome. The cactus. Okay, the antlers. The scarecrow. Okay, so the bureau. Drive back the way I came to the crystal. Crystal. What is this? Easy. Hey, looking kind of tired there, old man. Want me to take the wheel for a bit? Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Wait. Huh. Oh, maybe I was missing something with the other ones. Act 2, Scene 3. St. Thomas Church. Is that it over there? I don't see any congregation. Maybe it's after hours. Let's see what the janitor knows, I guess. Oh, here for the night mass? What kind of mass is it? Tonight it's a homily on work and need. Huh, haven't heard this one before. Are you the preacher? Oh, I'm the janitor. I guess this must look pretty strange, a church without a congregation. When they first moved here, man, this place was packed. They had a mass every night, 2 on Sunday. But it got a bit awkward to fit everyone in, and the numbers quickly dwindled. Once folks started to see it as a thing that was falling apart, they lost their center of gravity, and it just started wobbling. Then the preacher stopped coming too, but he left his old tapes. Same with the organist. And I found some old acetates in the bureau archives, photos of people in churches. So I kept it running. You do what you have to do, right? We have to find some bureau documents. Oh, you're from the bureau? I moved all those documents to Unit C315 to make room for the mass. It's down at the other end of the building, same floor. I need to get the night mass started, but you can borrow my keys. I'll go. You wait here. Rest your leg. You're looking kind of pale. Nice lady. Well, I better get this running. Is your whole family Catholic? Oh, no, we're not religious. I just watched and listened while the congregation did all this stuff, and I probably don't understand as much of it as you might think. Anyway, I know how to run the overhead projector and the tape player. At least I know enough to keep it going, right? It's okay. Don't really know what else I would do. I used to play a lot of card games, in high school. Some of my friends went to college, but most of them just got jobs. Maybe in a few years we'll be hanging out in bars, playing darts or something. You're not allowed to play cards in the bar, because it looks like gambling. My leg's killing me. I bet everyone's telling you to go see a doctor. Hey, I get it. Too expensive. My dad cut his arm pretty bad on a job, but he stitched himself back up because we didn't have health insurance. But then his hand didn't work very well, and he got pretty depressed, and eventually he just sort of, well, I guess I don't know what he should have done. Who knows, right? So, this is like a hobby? If you asked me what my hobbies were, I'd say card games, science fiction, and perspective geometry. But I run the slideshow and I play the tapes and I don't get paid for it. I take it pretty seriously, but nobody's telling me I should. Is that a hobby? Seems like there ought to be a more serious word for it. Okay, that's it. Next, there's some rituals that you and I aren't allowed to participate in, I don't think. And I don't remember them anyway. Hi, got it. We were just listening to the sermon. What? I found what we came here to get. The file on street name changes. You don't You don't look good. Let's head back to the bureau and get this straightened out, and then maybe we should go see the doctor the clerk recommended. Jesus, are you alright? What the hell? My leg is stuck. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna pull you out. We have to get you out of here. There you go, okay? Are you hurt? Can you put any weight on that leg? It's all messed up. Here, let's get you under the tram. There you go. Now, let's see if this thing has power. Hey, old man, look at me. Can you hear me? What happened? I don't know, he collapsed. I think he blacked out. He was mumbling about the old mine for a minute. The old mine where we met. What the hell are you talking about? We're gonna go see that doctor the clerk recommended. She hand she hands Brandon the doctor's card. How do we get to this address from here? I don't know. It's pretty tricky going back and forth between, here and there. The bureau's the only way I know. Some of those folks do it all the time. Commuters. Just go back the way you came, find the crystal, and then turn around. What if I click that button? Can I take over? Oh, okay. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Does this just... So she... Oh, okay, that's cool. That's a good fast travel mechanic. She just takes over driving. Okay. Drive clockwise until you reach the feather. Reverse direct, hit the birdhouse. Now turn around again and you're almost upon it. Okay. So, I think I can do that. Clockwise until I reach the feather. Counterclockwise until I reach the birdhouse. Oh. And what do? Wait, river tunnels. Now turn around again and you're almost upon it. Tunnels. Wait, is that what I'm looking for? Whoops. Oh no, I lost it. Okay. Clockwise until... Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah, river tunnels. Okay. I might call it pretty soon. I'm getting kind of tired. I just want to see these. I wouldn't mind finishing this act, but I do want to do all this exploring stuff. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so the bureau's here. There we are at the bureau. Counterclockwise until we reach the feather. The tunnels are described as a series of arterials evacuated by runoff from an underground river which long ago evaporated, now the tangled vessel of marooned echoes. They're surprisingly large. A distant scratching sound catches Conway's attention from a tunnel leading downwards. Another tunnel runs into the darkness to the left. The tunnel widens a bit. The air is cooler here. A faint mewing reverberates through the tunnel. A small, ragged cat sits on the ledge, carved into the wall. Seeing Conway and Shannon, it darts into another tunnel. Okay. Wait. Springs. I just found a different thing. Cool. As described in the brochure, These mineral springs radiate with vigor and sweat youth from the pores of the cave walls, its sweet dampness evaporating and then recollecting on the ruddy faces of rejuvenated bathers. The air does have a warmth and fragrance to it that seems to relax the nostrils. Shannon encourages Conway to rest his leg in the water. Rest for a while. The water is warmer than it looks and strangely soothing. Think about the night stars. Conway leans his head back, eyes closed. It still feels like night down in the cave. Not just darkness, but the lateness of it. Somewhere on the other side of this rock, the stars are drifting along indifferently. He remembers some of Charlie's homework from when he first went to college. Charlie was home visiting Lysette and Ira for the weekend and had some book about astronomy or physics or something, maybe math, watching the relative speeds at which different stars pan across the sky and using it to determine their distance. Leaving the spring, Conway finds a few small aquatic insects nestled in his pant leg. He leaves them behind. So I've been to the river tunnels and the meditation spring. I need to find the meditation tunnels. Okay, mineral spring. Find the feather and again turn around. Okay, back to game. Talon. No. I guess I need to go. Birdhouse. Alright, I'm gonna take probably get some. Never mind. I'll take over if you want. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Take me back to the bureau, please, Shannon. No, that didn't do it. That did not do what I thought it was gonna do. Okay. The jaws. Wait, now if I go this way, it should. The scarecrow. Oh, that's the TV. Okay, let me go back to. I'm trying to get to the bureau. The bureau. Okay, there we go. Drive counterclockwise toward the TV. When you reach the TV, drive clockwise to the antenna. Now turn around again and head just past the barn. Okay. And that's for the gallery. So counterclockwise to the TV, clockwise to the antenna, then turn around again and go just past the barn. So counterclockwise to the TV first. The jaws. Batwings. The TV. Counterclockwise to the antenna. Just past the barn. Gallery. This is so cool. The brochure describes this place as a gallery of mislaid futures, abandoned on lonely highways as American industrial design shifted its gaze to the intangible. It is a large warehouse full of oddly shaped vehicles, blimp-like rusted vessels, mostly painted in a dull green that has now faded toward brown. No path has been carved to navigate between them, and many have been damaged enough to leave menacing bits of metal running jaggedly through their small open spaces. It's all a visitor can do to stand at the edge of the building, neck craned, trying to get a glimpse of something. Alright, time to go back to the TV. What was that? Wait. Huh. Okay, so I've been to the river tunnels. I've been to the gallery. I've been to the minerals. I have not been to the mineral springs or the meditation. Oh wait, no, I need to go to the meditation tunnels and the valley. Okay. Drive clockwise to the scarecrow, then turn around. Okay. Wait, how do I get back from the gallery? Find the TV again and turn around. Okay, back to the gallery. Counterclockwise to the scarecrow is next. Okay, bureau. It's so cool. This is like built like a combination lock with like multiple layers. Oh, I don't know if it's multiple layers or if it's like one of those like holograms that they use as advertisements where you're walking one way and you see one ad and you're walking the other way and you see the other ad. But it's very cool. I would love to see this like drawn out in like one of those like paper model kind of geometries, but I imagine it doesn't work that way. Turn around, drive to Scarecrow counterclockwise until you reach the pendulum. Okay. Oh, wait, did I pass the Scarecrow? Oops. I should go around again. Oh, I can't do that. Never mind. I messed up. I messed up. Bureau. Clockwise to the pendulum. Or clockwise to the Scarecrow. Counterclockwise to the pendulum. Where is the Scarecrow? Oh, is the feather for the Scarecrow? There's the cactus. I thought the pendulum. I thought the antlers. The Scarecrow's right here. Okay. Counterclockwise to the pendulum. Deja vu. What? It's odd. What? Just, deja vu. It's just this weird road. No, you're right. Just this weird road. Definitely just this weird road, right? What is going on? What? Alright, so do I continue to the... No, that's the bat feeder. Where's the... There's the pendulum. Okay. And then go back. And you can't miss it. Tunnels. Okay. Gosh, this is such a cool game. The brochure for these mousy tunnels recommends taking them as a site for meditation, an introspective labyrinth through which to walk one's concerns slowly, like a breathing exercise. A narrow tunnel extends to the right and another to the left. Let's go to the left tunnel. Cramped passage. A narrow tunnel extends to the right and another to the left. The moss begins to glow. Right tunnel. Right tunnel. Left tunnel. The moss is glowing more brightly now. Close eyes. Okay. I feel like I missed something there, but that could just be I'm trying to be very not that guy in this game. But it's difficult. I don't want to go back and just do it. Do it multiple times, even if that would work, just because it seems. Hey, you're looking kind of tired there. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. It just seems a little disingenuous to the whole thing. Valley, okay. Drive counterclockwise to the bottle, turn around, clockwise to the still, and then you're nearly on top of it again. Counterclockwise to the bottle, clockwise to the still. Jaws, the bottle's next, I think. No, maybe I need to go a revolution around. TV. Lightning bolt. Bottle, okay. Clockwise to the still. Then turn around again. You're right on top of it. What the brochure calls an epic laceration to the very heart of the world, certainly left by some great power. Perhaps a casualty in a battle between God and dinosaur, is more of a rock valley separating the road from a sheer cliff face. It's difficult to see how deep it runs, as the rock slopes into shadow, but the few dozen lanterns strung across at an interval suggest its scale, larger than a basketball court, but smaller than a financial district. Back so soon? Can we talk to Clerk Lula Chamberlain again? I'm afraid she left, in a big hurry actually. Something happened with your meeting? We need to get to the interstate, 65. Lula filed your papers, so you're in the system now. I can process you whenever you're ready to go back, just let me know. Well, I think we're ready to be processed. Can you tell us how to get to this address? We're looking for Dr. Truman. Of course, this is a neighborhood just outside of Bowling Green. Get on the 65 going southwest, take a right just past the observatory, just before the river. If you continue north, you'll be there shortly. Okay, 65 going southwest. Alright. 65 going southwest, okay. Past the river, go north. So Equus, oh, I should go to Equus. Joseph has fallen asleep in his chair. Carrington won't be here another few hours, okay. There's the observatory, and then we go north. Dr. Truman's house? Question mark. The neighborhood at the address on Lula's card has been demolished. In its place is a large museum still partially under construction. Act 2, Scene 5. Museum of Dwellings. What? I just assumed they were from the power company. You know how they're always coming by unannounced and messing with this or that. I just shut myself up in the room to wait it out. No sense getting involved. They definitely weren't from the power company. Well, I wouldn't complain if they were, really, with the storm going on. I know they have to do their business. Doesn't affect me. I've got my generator. But you know some of these folks around here. Unprepared. Totally unprepared. Oh yeah, he was talking to his dog. Guy was a weirdo. What did he say? Just small talk, you know, like you talk to your buddies or something. Like you talk to a dock worker. Just like, damn, this is a lot of rain. I haven't seen rain like this since that storm a couple years back that took out Lysette's herb garden. I just feel bad for that old dog getting dragged all over by a couple of drunks. Old dog like that should be sleeping on a porch somewhere, but that's loyalty for you. Well, they didn't stay long anyway. What the heck? This is so weird. I love the perspective switch. And I can't fully tell if it's like a temporal perspective switch or just like an actual perspective switch. I heard the man and the lady talking when they first came in, but they didn't see me. He had his umbrella open inside. What were you doing up that late? What were they talking about? But like the visual effect, this is a recording? I'm not... The man said his leg was hurting him. They were looking for Dr. Truman, but he was already gone. But they didn't know, so they kept looking around. Guess we don't need that. That's so far out. Depending on how big this museum is, I might call it soon and save the exploring of the museum for the next stream, just because I'm getting a little tired and I want to, I think playing this game at night is like the time to play it, but I don't want to like be powering through this game at all, which I'm just on the borderline of getting to. Like I feel like we're probably like 60% of the way through this act. Maybe a little bit. Oh, this is cool. Okay, how many houses? Oh, what? Okay, so this is literal dwellings. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is actually the perfect place to stop because I'm not going to do these dwellings tonight. Um, I'm going to stream them either tomorrow night or this weekend, and maybe finish the game this weekend, depending. But I'm really enjoying streaming this at night, so I'm not gonna like wake up early and just hop back in. Um, I might stream some crosscode on my account. Mm, let's just look at one dwelling. Okay, there's the thingy. Let's see what it says. I guess they must have gone through some papers here. It was in some disarray and a few folders were pulled out and left on the table. I mean, it wasn't too bad. I really only noticed because Diana's such a stickler. She's real organized, I mean. What folders were they looking at? Yeah, most of the stuff about the building site, I guess. They had a list of all the homes we relocated here, a list of original residences before we leveled the neighborhood. I guess they were looking for one of the old residents. They pulled out a list of folks who didn't take the offer, folks who moved elsewhere, but they filed that back out of order, so I guess they didn't find what they were looking for there. Hey, while I have you here, work's kind of slowed down and it seems like, I know you folks know what you're doing, but it seems like the residents are just kind of settling in. That's the idea. Yeah, I get that. How about that roof? You just write us a check and we'll finish it right up. I know you've got this museum thing going on, but you don't want to be slumlords now. Um, God, no, I'm just gonna finish it. I'm not gonna be able to go to sleep with like wondering what's happening. This is too good. They're hollering at that empty tent you folks have on display. Ha! Hey, you ever need anyone to stay in there? I've been in worse positions. Dark, but I mean, not makes sense. They came by and knocked on the window and we had a bit of a talk through the glass. I should have come out, but you know, shady characters. So they're interviewing, the museum staff is interviewing the residents of the museum. That's so weird. Okay. They seem suspicious? I already told you, weirdos, walking around door to door asking about Dr. Truman. This late at night? I told them what I know, but in this weather? Did you see them poking around anywhere else? They were into everything. Walking around, looking at stuff, talking to people, talking to each other. I guess that's just what it's going to be like now, living here. Can't go that way, okay. I heard them banging around out there, and I just stayed quiet. I don't know what they wanted. I just put my headphones on and tried to ignore them, to tell you the truth. So it's a museum that made an offer. This is one freaking commentary about some stuff that I'm gonna need to think about because it's like they're the museum offered the people money to move like you would when you were redeveloping something. But instead of redeveloping something new, they just put a museum down and put the houses into it, and the neighborhood is gonna continue as normal. That's so. Do you know, at first I thought it might be Hudson walking up to visit. I'd heard him working on his boat just a bit earlier before the storm started, but then I saw the stranger's living gate and the young woman with him, and I knew it couldn't be. I invited them in for a glass of bourbon, which they politely declined, so I just talked to them on the porch for a bit. What was the young woman like? Very sharp and mechanically minded. We talked a bit about the construction of my house. She was worried for a friend. Do you know, I don't believe either of them had ever set foot on a houseboat before. I don't know that the older man had ever seen an ocean, in fact. It's always been my fondest dream to retire on a houseboat. That's why I accepted your offer and moved in here. It isn't perfect, but what home ever is? I only wish the house would sway a bit. I find that it settles my nerves. Well, if we have another storm like that last one. I love the way the camera's moving in this. It's like so. It creates such a good sense of place. Like we're with the rafters. Like, oh, is this Carrington? Carrington, man, what are you doing over here? I guess not. All right. Sure, I talked to them for a bit. Actually, we talked for quite a while. I wasn't busy. Happy for the company. Can't sleep in a storm like that. Never could. Did you see how they got in? What are you talking about? Why can't you sleep in a storm? Bad memories. Besides, it leaks back here. You gotta fix that roof. There was a steady stream running back down the back wall and right through my this little exhibit thing. I knew it was just gonna be like a river all night. It's a damn hazard. You got wires everywhere. Don't you people have anyone to look at this stuff? We gotta get some real chickens in that coop, do some homesteading. None of these folks know how to live off the land, know what I mean? It's just a display, another kind of dwelling. Yeah, no offense against you guys, I mean, I appreciate what all you've done for us. I think you need to get some real horses in the stable. Did the strangers go in the stable? No, they just poked around a bit and talked about barns. They were pretty boring. That dog was in nearly as bad shape as the old man, just shrugging along. They found him some treats in the doghouse exhibit. It seemed to cheer them up a bit. I think this is back at the beginning, but I'm not sure. Oh, oh, birdhouse. Oh no, this isn't back at the beginning. This is the, oh, we're in, this is so wild. It, mm. I love the like slight upwards and downwards panning. Like it's so much like we're just looking at them through a security camera, and it's so subtle. The old man stopped to rest, or maybe to think. The young woman had been anxious up to that point, but she stopped as well and examined the birdcage more closely. It seemed to elicit a tenderness from her. She ran one fingernail along the bars of the wire cage, marking out a tuneless scale like a child's xylophone, and then they moved on. I was playing in that empty cabin when they came by. They asked about Dr. Truman. I know where he went, but I didn't tell them. Where did Dr. Truman go? It's a secret. Ezra told me, and I can't tell anyone else. Who's Ezra? He's my age. He doesn't really live here. He's just passing through with his brother Julian. First they're going to help us, but I can't say anything more about that. We have a lot of secrets. The lady asked me about my parents, and I told them they were upstairs in the greenhouse. Do you want to hear a weird story? Of course I do. The old man asked me about the cabin. He said it looked like another house he knew, and he wanted to know where it came from. I told him nobody lived there, so he went inside. He took a long time exploring. When he came back, he told me all about it. He went upstairs, and he also looked around the other rooms. I played with the dog. He looked in some boxes. He looked out the window. He could see the museum better than when he was downstairs. He could tell it was all put together, and the cabin too. He could see the shape of it better from up there. Now, the part that is weird, he said he went into the basement. The cabin doesn't have a basement. He said he found a staircase in the closet, then he found a rope leading down a long pit, and he climbed down. It was so long, his arms got very tired, and he fell in the dark. He didn't get hurt, though. He crawled through a tunnel where he found a hidden garden. The garden was very beautiful. He felt so calm. He fell asleep. He woke up on the floor of the cabin. He came back outside, and we said goodbye, and I didn't talk to them anymore. Cool. Very cool. I can't go over there? This is the... Wait a second. Why can't I go over there? Alright. So I guess I need to take that elevator up to the roof, because I think I've done all the... I think I've done all the down here stuff. That elevator was over here? No, it's one more over. Or was it? No, it was one more over. Okay. Oh, that's so neat. If you just idle in front of someone's house, they're like, what are you doing? Am I missing a piece of interaction here? No, I guess not. I think she's just coming out to see who we are. Working in the greenhouse, and I saw them come up in the elevator. They were lost, obviously. It was obvious. Oh, of course, I saw them looking at that odd-shaped building, sure, the rounded metal one? Yeah, that one. House of the future sort of thing. I've always thought it looked more like a grain bin. Actually, I guess it's sort of romantic. Anyway, they seemed interested in it, tired, huddling under their umbrellas. They still stopped to examine this strange building. Difficult to see or hear with a storm like that, but I was awake and alert, studying the week's forecast. It should even out shortly, I'd say. Pay close attention to the weather. Hard not to up here. The strangers want to know how I cope with the exposure. I guess some people will never understand the appeal of life on a sailboat. It's tragic, I'd say. Well, then they had to leave. Looking for a doctor, I think. The old man was having a bad time. It was a short conversation. The floor was playing down on the lower level, and we'd been having a glass of wine in the greenhouse. We ducked out of the way when he came in. After all, they were complete strangers. We didn't know them. Did you overhear them talking? Well, I heard the young woman ask a friend about his job. He's some kind of furniture collector or dealer, I think. It didn't sound like things were going well. Maybe they were looking for a buyer. Yes, definitely some kind of furniture collector or dealer. I heard him talking about antiques. What's up, little man? I saw you folks drive up. I like your truck. What kind of truck is that? Do you know where Dr. Truman is? Yes, ma'am. He's out in the forest. Me and Julian took him out. We took him out there a few nights ago, and he didn't want to come back. He lives there all the time now. This museum is an okay place to live in the daytime, but it's no good at night. Folks just can't sleep in a place like this, or when they do, it gives them nightmares. So we take them out to the forest to sleep, and then bring them back in the morning. Is your family out in the forest? Oh, no, I don't know where they are. Me and Julian were looking for them for a while, but anyway, we have a job to do here now. Taking these people out to the forest at night so they can sleep. And maybe if the rest of them will be like Dr. Truman and want to stay out there, we'll get back to looking. Can you tell us how to get to the forest? You have to follow the Green River way out east and then hop over Lake Cumberland. The roads don't go there, but me and Julian can take you. We were just about to go anyway. I've just got to call him over. Yeah. Not gonna shout, but I'm also not gonna be like, no, I can't do it. Oh, Dark Souls 3. Or Dark Souls 1, I don't know. One of them. Green River. Gosh, the stuff this game does with like line art and really minimalistic maps is so good. Is he taking me there, or is he waiting for me to like control him? Oh, maybe he is. I guess it's out here. Okay. Barren River. How do I find the forest? The house? Oh, is that where I want to go? The flayed hull of a country home smolders in the night. Parts of the property are obscured by smoke. I don't think it's that one. Forest. You have to follow the Green river way out east. Okay. And then hop over Lake Cumberland. That's helpful. Green River. That's the Green River. Okay, so east. Way out east. And hop over Lake Cumberland. Okay, so that's the museum. What's the church? Oh my gosh. Okay. A large country church with a pitched roof and a three-story spire. A large LED display glows in the parking lot. Behind the church are several dusty metal trash cans, all closed. The sign is city light throbs through the windows. Small figure. Thin gray figure walks along the side of the road carrying what appears to be a guitar case. He's followed closely by a smaller shape, a dog. He looks tired. Elkhorn Mine. From above, the huge swaying tipple looks like a small wooden lattice frame, framing the edge of the mine entrance. Keep going down this Green River. Lake Cumberland. Here we come. Shadowy figure drags itself out of the lake, stuffs its lambs into a smart blue suit, and trudges slackly out of view. Alright. That's cool, I guess. Everybody's gotta work. Way out. Hop over Lake Cumberland. Okay. I don't see Lake Cumberland. Maybe it's over here. Is this Lake Cumberland? Yes, it is. Okay, hop over Lake Cumberland. Keep heading east. This looks like a forest. Act 2, Scene 6. A forest. Wow, this is so good. It's okay, just take it easy. Just close my eyes. I don't think that's a good idea. Just take some strain off your leg for a minute and then we'll keep going. Why is this delivery so important to you? I don't know. Okay, well, who knows while we do anything? I'm just not gonna talk and listen to this song. Is there anything this way? Just go this way first. Doesn't look like it. Okay, figured. Very cool. Travis is doing. Shouldn't be much farther now. I think I see where the settlement ends over there. These fine looking trees. Ha, yeah, really nice. You a tree enthusiast? I like birds. Birds like trees. Just nice to have something to lean up on. You're in a lot of pain right now, aren't you? I'm just thinking about getting back to work. We're almost there. We'll get you patched up and back in that truck. We can handle this. Let's talk to the pupper again. Have you ever been here in the winter? I bet it's all snowy. Totally quiet. Just Lizette's family, I guess. Oh yeah, husband, bunch of kids. I guess it's just me and her now. Oh, well, two's still a family, right? I guess I was always closest with Weaver, as close as someone can be with a girl like that. She was always on her own wavelength, but we were the same age growing up, and everyone else was so busy. When she disappeared, I got pretty angry, and I guess I just stayed that way. I never really understood her, but I knew her. It's lonely without someone like that around. Sorry, you're a good listener. Where have you been? We lost sight of you for a minute. Yep, it's easy to get lost, especially out in the woods like this. I never get lost, though. I just look out for Julian. He's always around. My folks had a really nice house, bigger than any of these houses, but it made them worried all the time. Then the bank took it back. We had to sleep at the bus station, but I couldn't ever get to sleep. So I just went to fly around every night with Julian. We flew really far, and we never got lost, but when we came back in the morning, they were all gone. They just left you? I don't think so. All our stuff was still there. Maybe they just got lost somewhere. Let's go see what's on TV. And yeah, I think that during that exit interview is when I really realized how bad they had me. But how else can you pay for medical school? I have college friends with debts, and you can't expect to pay that back unless you're planning to sell painkillers on the side or something. Or, some kind of administrative thing. I don't know. Having seen what arthritis did to my grandmother, and my best friend in high school destroy his wrist building synthesizers, I mean, he was like 17. Ailments of the joints and limbs just seem important to me. I hope that answers your question. Getting a scholarship with that pharmaceutical company had a lot of strings attached, but at least I have somewhere to practice, and even if I have to follow their market trends a bit. And hey, thanks to all those seminars, I'm an expert on the medical uses of neuropenol TM. It's not so bad. So how about that leg? What happened exactly? Too dark to tell, really. Stumbling around in the dark. Hey, you might have just twisted it on something, right? Let's take a look. What are they singing about? They're singing about hard times. Yeah, everybody has it pretty rough right now. Even if you just want to go home, you'll have problems. Like, it'll be too dark and you'll get scared. Maybe you can just stay lost in the dark. Maybe you'll be okay with that eventually. Your friend's in pretty bad shape, isn't he? it's nothing we can't handle. You might have a few things to look out for in the future. Be a bit gentler with the leg or the way you walk, but you'll be okay. I've dealt with similar cases before. So, the anesthetic we'll use is called neuropenol TM. It's pretty experimental, but it's more appropriate in cases like yours. The way it works is, I'll count backwards from 5 to start the process, and then we'll just have a normal conversation as the neuropenol TM takes effect. Then I'll get started. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, let's talk about billing for a moment. The pharmaceutical company I'm contracted with was recently acquired by an energy company that has some different standards for billing and revenue, so it's a bit complex now. End of Act 2. Well, all right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. That was the end of Act 2 of Kentucky Route Zero. My name's Mo. You can find me on Twitch at Mo underscore swords with a Z at the end, SWORDZ, and on the Waypoint Discord and forums. I will hopefully be streaming the rest of this game soon, this tomorrow, Friday, this weekend. Uh, I don't know. I'm excited to keep going and be ready when Act 5 drops. But have a good night, everybody.